Okay.
Elizabeth King,
Mhm.
and let's see, it was Mr. Troutman. You
Okay.
remember him?
I do.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
okay.
Top shop. What we call it
Yeah,
back
yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah. And let me see who else that you know. I can't think what her name is. I can see her, but I
Okay.
can't think.
How
Miss
old?
Gooseby. Miss
I
Gooseby.
remember Miss
Yeah,
Gooseby.
yeah,
She did.
yeah.
She taught me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How old were you when you moved to Magnolia Street?
I was 13, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me about that. That was different too, right?
Well, yes. And the different, where we moved from Bree Street to Magnolia, and during that time, we didn't have school buses, you know, whatever. As a matter of fact, when I was going to Bree Street, we didn't have school buses. And when I was going to the old school, we didn't have, to Athens High, down on Bree Street, we didn't have school buses. So it was pretty exciting because we lived on Magnolia Street, so it was right at the school.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Closer to the school.
Yeah, yeah. And so I went there all the way through, you know, high school. Like I said, and we finished in, we graduated in '57.
Okay. And you say your sister was younger or older?
She's younger than
She's
I am.
younger,
Yeah,
okay.
she's 4 years younger than I am. I'm
Okay.
4 years older than she
Oh,
is.
okay. Okay. And tell me about Magnolia Street. And you told me your dad was a minister.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And where we live, okay, like I said, I can remember my house number. It was 273 Magnolia Street, and Reverend Ford, Larry, their house number was 274. So we lived across the street from them.
Okay.
Next to us, going down toward Baxter Street, was the Sanders, and then Clayton Jr. Clayton Patman. They were the next house, and then Miss Hattie Patman, Miss Hattie Powell, and she was named after her mother, Hattie Bazell.
Okay.
She was a retired school teacher, and then Hattie taught school.
Okay.
So that was the end of Magnolia Street on the side that I live.
Okay.
And then eventually,
Is that house still there?
oh no,
Okay.
we get to that now. From
Okay.
my house where we live, all the way down to where the Patmans live, they told us, they come in and they bought that property and everything. So they built the International House of
Okay.
Pancake.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the lower end of the parking lot going back up Magnolia Street was where we live.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. And I guess there were a lot of young people on that street back then. Yes or no?
In a way, not really.
Okay. Okay.
It was Clayton Jr., where he was, I think he was a lot older than me. He had done finished high school.
Okay.
And then Miss Hattie Patman, she had two kids, a boy and a girl. Can't think what the name is. I'm looking at them, but I can't think what the names are.
Okay.
And then across the street where Larry stayed, that was Larry and his siblings. There was, I think that was William, Linda, Mary Francis, Regina, and Larry.
Okay. So,
Okay.
Okay.
So next to that was the Jacksons, Albert Jackson and Miss Minnie Jackson. They were members of Ebenezer. They had a daughter, Alberta Jackson. And then Mr. Squab Jones used to live 2 houses up above us, going back
Right.
Magnolia
Okay. I
to
know
a
where that
road.
is.
Yeah. And right next door to us, going up Magnolia, was Milton Hill
Okay.
and his wife. And so of course they had Ronnie, and Ronnie is the oldest child, and I can't think what the other child name is. Like I'm saying, I can see these kids, but and then on down from there, all the way to the end, almost to the end of Magnolia was Florence Bunnett. She was a classmate of mine. That was, what was her mother name? They were Hill. She married a Hill. But Florence was this man's stepchild.
Okay.
And then there was Miss Carrie Billups, Robert and Ronald Billups. You know them?
Right.
Okay. And I'm trying to think there. And there was some Winkfields, but Senior Winkfield parents live over there.
Okay.
And it's somebody else, but I can't think right now, but I'm doing good. Thank you.
Yeah, you are.
You
You had to describe the neighborhood, what it looked like at that time. What would you say? If you walked down the street, what would we see?
Well, back then, because it was a new area,
Mm-hmm.
and basically you just saw homely, it's a street that you could walk on. You
Okay.
didn't have to worry about, nobody bothering you or anything, because at that time, at that particular time, when you got to the end down where I was staying, where Miss Hattie pounding over there, that was the end of the street, so we had to turn around and come back up,
Okay.
and so because you couldn't keep straight,
Uh-huh.
but it was just a nice neighborhood, to live in, and everybody, pretty much kind of looked out for each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how would you describe like the yards,
Oh, the
Did
yards were very kept.
Okay.
Oh Lord, honey, them folks were so bad. Get yard and they would plant
Tell me-
flowers and
okay.
shrubberies. And
Tell me about that. That's what I mean when I said, tell me what would you see? What did it look like?
it just looked like a picturesque,
Okay.
place. You
Mhm.
had flowers and trees, and everybody kept the yards cut and
Uh-huh.
everything.
Mhm.
So it was just nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What about gardens?
Yeah, some of them had gardens. My mother liked the gardens, so she had gardens. But there was, you could tell the folk that were raised on the farm. Yeah, but then too many. Oh, and there was another teacher that lived on the left side going down. Her name was Miss Josephine Jackson.
Okay.
Did you know her?
I think I remember her.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Miss Jackson.
So we had quite a few teachers.
Teachers?
Yeah, you had Miss Jackson, and then had Miss Hattie
Mhm.
Pound and Miss Hattie Basil, and then come on up Milton Hill. His wife was Connie Hill. She taught over at Union.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then, let me see, there was somebody else on there that was a teacher. And then you had the Winkfield, Senior Winkfield. And did you ever know Ernest Thomas? Ernest Thomas?
No. No.
He married sister. He married a couple. The couples out there in Oconee, in Farmington.
Really? Okay. I got to know them then. He must have
His mom and grandparent, his mom and his grandmother lived on Magnolia. They used to live in the project, but
Okay.
they moved
Okay.
and moved in one of those
Okay,
one
okay.
of those houses.
Uh-huh.
And what is sister's food? Because she got a sister named Sandra Norman. They had a brother named Andrew Cooper,
Okay.
and what the other sister name?
So it must not been, when you said Coopers in Watkins, I thought about the Reverend Albert Cooper folks.
Not them, but
Okay.
they might be related,
Okay.
but not. But they lived in Farmington,
Oh, okay.
on down from
Uh-huh.
Watkinsville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, cause sister, well, we all call her sister. She retired from the Athens housing.
Okay.
She used to be secretary or whatever.
I think I remember that now.
What is her name? Oh, have much I can't think. It's bad.
I remember them.
Okay.
Because they had a son too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I remember him.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because now they're members of Ebenezer.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So they lived there on Magnolia too.
Yeah, Ernest did.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he wasn't married then.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. And what about the that VFW building?
Oh, yeah, it was.
Was it there when you moved there?
I believe it was.
Okay. Tell me about it.
Well, now, I didn't know, because, you know, I couldn't go to the
She's a preacher's daughter.
I couldn't go to the clubs and stuff. And then
What
I
did they
was
say?
I was underage, I couldn't go.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
They used to have some doozies there.
what did you hear? What did they tell you about that club?
They didn't tell me too much. All I know sometimes, every once in a while, they would have some shoes. Some shoes and some Bibles and stuff.
That sounds like Brooklyn, which was not too far from where I grew up.
Yeah.
I used to try to sneak in there.
Yeah, they would have dances and everything. Sometimes, especially on Friday nights and Saturday nights, boy, the streets be just loaded with cars and stuff. But see, I was on the lower end.
Okay,
So
okay.
I really didn't know too much about what was going on.
They had entertainers that came in, didn't
Yeah.
they? I heard James Brown came there.
Well, he might have did. I don't know.
You still ain't telling.
Well, I don't know, because like I said, I couldn't go. You know, I couldn't go.
Yeah.
I wasn't old enough.
Right, okay.
Yeah. And I tell you somebody else that you might would know that lived across from there was Northern Sims.
Okay.
You ever heard of Northern?
I heard of that.
He and his wife, Ethel, was member of New Road in the old church.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because that reminded me, you said that. Somebody related to Keith Hurd used to live on that street. Who was that down on the end? Maybe Hurd? I don't know what the last name was. They might have moved that much later or something. 'Cause I
Might have
remember-
did.
Yeah, okay. All right. So you was there, that's where you were when you finished Athens High and Industrial?
Yep,
That you